Hey, what's chillin' YouTube? Fake Glory here with another black and white UU match. This one's gonna be versus h81abz. Let's just get this battle started. It's quite a bit of match. 50 turns if I'm right. I believe I am. I looked at it. So he's gonna send out his Typhlosion first turn. Pretty usual lead. And I'm gonna set out my Scarf Medicham. So I'm gonna be afraid that he scarfed himself, and I'm gonna go to Snorlax just to take an eruption, which it will quite well, but he's actually going to switch out. I guess he might be Specs or something, but I guess we'll see later. So he is going to go into his Shuckle, trying to take basically a high jump kick or anything that I could throw at the Typhlosion. But this is going to give me a good opportunity to start setting up spikes, as he's going to go into Toxic, and I'm just going to absorb that because I'm Poison type, and I'm going to set up my spikes as it is here. So I'm in an okay position. He's going to go for the knockoff. That's going to basically render my lefties useless. So he's gonna go into this Crobat as I'm gonna set up another layer of spikes. This is spikes layer 2. I'm afraid of a Brave Bird here, so I'm gonna go into my Registeel as he's actually gonna go for a taunt, trying to stop me from setting up spikes in his face. But why would I honestly stand? So either he was predicting a switch or he just wanted to stop me right there. So I'm just gonna hit it's gonna hit my Registeel for a taunt. I'm not gonna want to stay in because taunted Registeel isn't that useful to me. So I'm going to go into Medicham as he's actually going to go for U-turn. I expected a Super Fang, but I guess he's either not running that or just wanted to get switch priority. So he's going to send out his Gardevoir because it can really take any attack I can throw at it. Since Medicham is a psychic fighting type, even its stabs are resisted by Gardevoir. So I'm going to want to switch out, and I'm actually going to go to my Snorlax just because it counters really anything besides Focus Blast. But he's actually going to predict my move and go for a Trick. Not the best play for me, but so because it's okay, because once I get a rest, I can start switch back in and then start setting up Sleep Talks, and basically I can do whatever I want from there, because Sleep Talk is one move in itself and basically lets me use any of my other moves. So he's going to go for a Focus Blast. This is going to do above half by like 2 points. Not that great. Snorlax isn't taking things that well on the special side, because as long as they're super effective, he won't take it well. But just because I don't have any investment in there. But he still does take moves pretty dang well as long as they're neutral or resisted, pretty much. So he's going to go into his Jolteon. I'm going to block the Volt Switch with my Gligar. So he has to randomly switch out, telling me that he is Specs. And so that makes me think either the Typhlosion is Scarf, or he really has two choice Specs Pokemon, which would be awkward. So I'm going to go for a taunt predicting the switch, and I'm going to hit the Clefable. Luckily, really Clefables who are taunted aren't really that useful, but he is carrying the Seismic Toss, which does do a decent amount on Medicham, because it really doesn't have any HP to stand for himself. So I'm going to go for a high jump kick. Oh, I actually do hit. Yay. So that's not going to do a large amount because it's quad resisted, not very much power after that. So I'm gonna have to switch out, and I'm gonna go into my Registeel just to take a Brave Bird, which is exactly what he goes for, I do believe. Yeah. So he's gonna take that very well. Not gonna do much damage recoil just because it didn't do much at all. So one thing I can do to give him damage recoil if he really wants to go for a move like that is basically send in Snorlax. It has more HP, not as great of a defensive stat, and basically he'll wreck himself with recoil. So I'm going to go for an Iron Head predicting the taunt. Luckily he does go for that taunt, but unfortunately at the same time, because I won't be able to get Rocks up, which is my main way of stopping Crobats from coming in and basically trying to wreck me. But they really can't, they just stall me out quite a bit. So he's going to go into his Typhlosion just to take advantage of me, and I am going to go into my Snorlax, I do believe, or I think I go into my Gligar. Yeah. I know I could take a Eruption since he has whatever spikes damage, basically because even only with 4 EVs in special defense, his special defense with the Eviolite becomes basically as powerful as raw Tom W's, or as defensive, I should say. So that's actually just to put it into perspective. So he's gonna go for another Eruption, but at low health he's not really gonna get anything out of it, and I'm just gonna be able to take advantage of him and roost up. But my versus recorder kind of glitches out there, so apologize. So basically I'm going to roost up, taking advantage of his horrible eruptions, and basically they're not going to do too much. I'm going to be able to get free rests up with Snorlax and basically just take advantage of him completely. So I'm just gonna roost up one more time just to be at full health, and I'm not planning to actually kill it off with my own stuff. He's actually gonna have to switch out on his own, or I'm just gonna keep taking advantage of him staying in. So he's actually gonna decide to switch out this turn as I go into Snorlax just to take an eruption even better, and basically just heal up for the rest. So he goes to Shuckle. Either way, this is an okay play because he can either try to hurt me or try to knock off. That would be great because basically he'd get rid of his own Choice Scarf. I could try to get Snorlax rid of the Choice Scarf, but I really don't care because once I am asleep like I am now, I could take advantage of him. And he goes for a Toxic. I guess he doesn't expect the Whirlwind set just because it's so uncommon nowadays, which is really helpful because anything that might want to sub up against me thinking they had the advantage really wouldn't. So now I'm in an okay position. I'm with Registeel. He can't Toxic me. The best he can do is like Encore or knock off my leftovers, which is what he does now. So yeah, now all I don't get is Lefty's recovery, but it's not that bad because I can T-Wave him still. I still have options as long as I'm not tricked. I'm okay. So basically, hit him with a T-Wave, not that much of a problem. I'm gonna get Encore, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm gonna keep going to T-Wave just in case he wants to switch out, hoping he switches out, I should say. So he's going to go for another Toxic, expecting my switch, and I'm going to go for another T-Wave just because I'm locked in, and expecting another switch would be okay. So he's going to go for another knockoff, expecting my switch, or wanting to just get 1% damage. I really don't understand either way. But, so he's going to go for another knockoff just as I'm keep going for T-Wave just because that's the best choice I have. So my Encore is going to end, and I'm going to go for a Seismic Toss just to take advantage of it. And if he does Encore me there, it's kind of okay, but because nothing he can really do to stop my Seismic Toss. So I'm going to go for another Seismic Toss, and he's going to barely survive this one, unfortunately, and he's going to get off a rest and bringing him back to full health without any paralyzation. And to even make it matters worse, he is a Resto Chesto set, so he's back awake. But this does allow me to paralyze him once again, so he's going to switch out, and he's actually going to go into his Cliff of Fable. I'm going to hit this with a T-Wave, and that's going to be basically okay. So nothing's T-Wave, not much of a problem. It wasn't very fast before, but just to get some hacks is probably the best thing I could get out of T-Waving this. So he's going to go, I'm going to go into Rose Raid, I should say, and I'm going to go for a Seismic Toss. Here I find this as an opportunity to basically take advantage of him and set up my last layer spikes just to guarantee some advantage. So I'm going to go for the last layer spikes as he protects, like, probably predicting a Leaf Storm because any other move wouldn't really hurt him that well. So I'm going to switch out and I'm going to go into my Heracross because it's the best thing I have. And if he wants to go for another Seismic Toss, like he usually would, but I would be able to take it very well. So he's going to go into Crobat just to take my move, but I believe, no, yeah, it's going to survive and it's going to take the close combat. And since it is quad resisted, it will be taking it fairly well, not too much damage. So the best thing I can do is switch out and basically give him some recoil damage. And the lefties here is actually going to help him quite a bit as I go into Snorlax just to get him the recoil, because Snorlax has okay defenses, but since they are maxed out, they're decent. So he's going to go for a Brave Bird. This is going to do a small chunk, nothing really bad that I can't rest off or anything. So he's going to barely survive thanks to the lefties. Really, that was all the amount that he really got. So he's going to be able to survive here. He's going to withdraw once more as I'm going to go for a Sleep Talk, and I'm going to get the Whirlwind on his Gardevoir. I guess he wants to take full advantage of my Snorlax being asleep, but unfortunately for him, I am able to basically counteract this with my Sleep Talk and basically having Whirlwind just to rack up damage. And since I can rack up damage, really nothing bad will go wrong. And I'm actually going to go for a Body Slam. Sorry, I said Whirlwind. But I do get the Paralyzation Axe, and he barely survives. So either way, it's an okay thing for me. And basically, if he wants to switch out now, he'd be dead on switching. So I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go to my Roserade just to take a Focus Blast if it's coming my way. But he's going to get Paralyzation, which is pretty bad, but I think he just did go for the Focus Blast. So I'm going to hit that and KO it with a Giga Drain at this point, just because I can use Recovery in any form, and really that thing is easily gone with a Giga Drain, because even though it does have a great special defense stat, its HP stat is not the best. So I'm just going to stay in here. I'm actually going to switch out, I should say, sorry. So I'm going to go into Heracross because it's probably my best check to it. I'm not going to say exact. I think it should be considered a counter because the best thing it can throw is probably a seismic toss. So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna say check for now. So basically, I'm stuck into close combat. He's gonna know this, and he's gonna send in Shuckle. But seeing as I am at +1 with the choice band, this is actually gonna do a nice chunk after the spikes and stealth rock damage. So this is actually gonna take it out, and all he has left is the Typhlosion, the Crobat, which both die on switching back in. So that's basically leaving him down to only the Jolteon, as you see now in the Clefable. So that's actually really good. I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to go into Rose Raid, basically making a bit of a pivot switch and seeing what he might want to do. So he's going to go with a Shadow Ball, actually, which basically tells me that I can take full advantage of with my Snorlax. That's actually going to do a nice chunk. It's going to get a special defense drop, not really mattering because I'm just planning to switch straight into my Snorlax as he goes for another Shadow Ball. It can get annoying, so he's going to go for the Shadow Ball. I am still asleep, luckily, and the sleep turns did reset, which is actually kind of okay in this situation. So I'm going to go for another Sleep Talk, as you see here. Not another, but first one after the sleep turns reset. And I'm going to get a Whirlwind, which is pretty fortunate for me, but he's going to get sent into his Typhlosion, not like it had much use anyway, other than basically being whatever it's called, fodder. So he's going to send in his Clefable. At this point, I'm going to go for another Sleep Talk, and luckily, actually, I get Whirlwind for a second time. Pretty fortunate. It's going to send him into his Jolteon, I do believe, or the Crobat. Yeah, the Crobat, which will die upon the rock switching. So that's fortunate. All he is truly left now is the Clefable and the Jolteon. The Clefable is easily handled with my Heracross, and the Jolteon, once I know what he's actually going to go for, it's pretty basic from there. So he's going to go for a Toxic. Not that great of a move on his part because I do get the Guts boost, and I am just going to be able to guarantee an O-Code at this range now, just because Choice Band plus Poisoned with the Guts boost, that's +2, really, that's equals Rape. So he's going to go for a Protect, trying to get a double Protect. That fails on his part. And I'm just going to be able to cover it from here. All he has is the Jolteon left. Really, this wasn't a close match, but it was still a fun one, and it shows what this team is capable of. And the reason I don't take it on PO is because the Hex is worse there than I've ever experienced in my life. I swear to God. I personally hate PO. I'd rather just do all my practice on Wi-Fi. So I'm going to switch out and just finishing the match, and I'm just going to go to Rose Raid just to sack it and see what he's going to do. And he's going to go for a T-Bolt. That's going to be an easy 2-hit KO from this range. So I'm just going to send a Gligar after I die. So that is going to be a good game. Comment, like, and subscribe, you guys. I will see you later. Next time I upload, it's probably going to be with a new team. Maybe. I might not. I'm just saying.